What's up guys, it's Michaela. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be making a video telling you guys all about the marine mammals you can find up and down the west coast. That includes Washington, Oregon, California, and maybe some of like Mexico, Baja California. I'm not too sure if you can find all of these animals there, but you can for sure find them in Washington, Oregon, and California. I have three categories. I have whales, pinnipeds, and porpoises / dolphins. So I hope you guys enjoy and let's dive in. Starting off with porpoises / dolphins, this category has the least amount of animals, so I just figured I would start off with this category. The first dolphin you can find off of the west coast is bottlenose dolphins. These are the most common dolphins that all of us know and love, and we actually have two subspecies of bottlenose dolphins. We have coastal and we have offshore bottlenose dolphins. The names speak for themselves. Offshore bottlenose dolphins are seen offshore, so a little bit farther out than shore, and coastal bottlenose dolphins are found close to the shore. So if you're hanging out on the beach and you see a all gray dolphin, you are more than likely looking at a coastal bottlenose dolphin, and if you're out on a boat a little farther away from shore and you see a bottlenose dolphin, you are most likely looking at a coastal bottlenose dolphin. The next one is a porpoise, and it is the Dall's porpoise. I have personally never seen one in my entire life, and they are on my bucket list. I would love to see them. However, I do believe they're a little more north, so Northern California, Oregon area. Not 100% sure. I know Santa Barbara whale watching sees them quite often. The last porpoise in this section is a Harbour porpoise. Again, I don't think we get these that often in Southern California, maybe a little up in Northern California, Oregon, maybe even Washington. Not too sure. I'm not very educated on Harbour porpoises just because I've never seen them before. I don't talk about them on a whale watching tour. We don't see them while whale watching. So the next dolphin is Rizzo's dolphins. These guys are one of my all-time favorite dolphin species. They are so beautiful. They kind of remind me of a canvas. So Rizzo's dolphins are all gray when they are born. Here's a picture of a baby Rizzo dolphin I took on a whale watching tour back in January. So as you can see, like I said, they are born gray, and a lot of their markings and scars come from the prey that they eat. They feed on squid, and the suckers on the squid tentacles make these marks and scars. You can see a lot of them are circular, and a lot of them are also from teeth rakes and just other things rubbing up or scratching up against their body. The next dolphin I will be talking about is common dolphins. Common dolphins are very common in Southern California, as you can tell by the name. So there are two subspecies, just like bottlenose. There are short-beaked and long-beaked common dolphin. I personally have a very hard time telling the two apart because when you're moving on a boat and they're swimming fast by you, you're not gonna be able to tell like, oh, that one's beak is shorter than the one we saw yesterday. So I have a little bit of a hard time identifying the two. We in California see a lot of long-beaked common dolphin more than short-beaked common dolphin. Common dolphin as a whole have such a beautiful pattern to them. The yellow hourglass is so beautiful. The next dolphin is the rough-toothed dolphin. I have never heard of whale watching boats even seeing this off of our Southern California coast. I think these animals are such unique looking. I would love to see one out in the wild. Obviously they don't have any in captivity, but I would love to see one in person. The next dolphin is Pacific white-sided dolphins, or lags as they are commonly known as. These guys are beautiful, very energetic, very interactive, very boat curious, and their colors are just so incredibly beautiful. That's the only word I have to describe them. They are super, super energetic animals. If you put a GoPro in the water, I believe Cetaceans on Instagram has done this. Incredible. You get such a good perspective of how active they are when you put a GoPro in the water next to them. And the last dolphin or porpoise is a striped dolphin. I don't know anything about these dolphins. That's what I want to do in quarantine. I want to educate myself on all of the marine mammals on the west coast that I have no information about, but I don't even know what they look like. I've never seen one before. I've never heard of any whale watching boats down here seeing any, so that makes me think they are again a northern species. The next category is whales, which is by far my favorite category, and it has the most amount of animals in it. The first animal is a humpback whale. Humpback whales are my favorite baleen whale. They are so beautiful. I remember I went on a whale watching boat in November, and one hung out by our boat, swimming underneath it, tail slapping by it for a good almost the entire part of our 2-hour tour. So beautiful, and they are massive. I always forget how big baleen whales are, and when they swim up right next to our Zodiac boat, it's really a like reality check. I'm like, holy shit, these are big. Humpback whales can also be seen off of the coast of Hawaii. That is a huge bucket list item of mine, to go see the Hawaiian humpback whales. The next whale is a gray whale. If you guys don't know what gray whales are, they look like this. I will put a picture of all of the animals I'm talking about on the screen, whether it is my own picture that I have taken or a Google image. Every year, gray whales migrate from Alaska, where they feed, down the coast of Washington, Oregon, California, all the way down to the lagoons of Baja, Mexico, where they breed or give birth to their calves. So in California, I would say March to the beginning of May is the prime time to see gray whales migrating, and they are coastal whales, which means they are very, very close to shore. They have been seen underneath Newport Beach Pier if you live in the Newport Huntington area. The next whale is Birdy's whales. I'm like 50% sure I'm pronouncing that right. These guys are a little bit more rare to see on the coast of Southern California. I think my whale watching company has seen them only a handful of times. One of the 8 hours they went on recently, they saw a cow-calf pair, which is just basically mom and calf, mom and baby. That would be also a dream. They are such beautiful animals, and they are so not well known because we don't see them a lot in Southern California. The next whale is the very infamous blue whale. Blue whales are ginormous. Blue whales, as we all know, ginormous animals, like unnaturally big. I have not seen one in person, but I know pretty much every year, without fail, they come to the coast of California, and my whale watching company at least has seen them pretty much every year in a row. The next is a Couriers beaked whale, and fun fact about them, they hold the deepest dive record. It's, I think, Couriers beaked whale and sperm whale. They're like neck and neck for the record title. But I've never seen one in person. I actually have never heard of anyone seeing one off of the California coast. I think I've seen a few articles of them being seen behind Catalina, so which makes me think again that they are also an offshore species. Next is false killer whales. False killer whales don't even look like killer whales, so I don't know why they're called false killer whales. I know we do see them in Newport Beach very, very seldom, and when we do, it's a huge deal. They are very rare to see in Southern California. I think they're more of a northern west coast species. Again, I think a lot of these, especially the porpoises, are seen more northern. The next whale is a Minke whale. I have a video coming out about Minke whales. But Minke whales have a nickname. They are called stinky minkies because their breath stinks. Well, whale breath doesn't necessarily smell good, but theirs is like a different level of smelling bad. I have seen a Minke whale on our whale watching tours. They are pretty small. They're the smallest baleen whale. I saw like the dorsal fin of one because they don't fluke when they dive and they rarely ever breach. So they're kind of boring to look at. No offense to Minke whales, but they're the less exciting whales to look at while whale watching. Next is fin whales. Fin whales are the second largest baleen whale next to blue whales, and I have actually seen 2 fin whales at a time when I was doing my gray whale census with Elisa Schulman-Janiger in Point Vicente. Point Vicente. If you guys don't know what that is, you basically sit on a cliff for a 4-hour time period and you look for gray whales, but we have also seen fin whales, sperm whales, which I'll talk about when I talk about them in a second. That was amazing. But I saw 2 fin whales off of the coast of Catalina Island, so in between the mainland, Point Vicente, and Catalina Island, there were 2 fin whales fluking and spouting. Those guys are really fun to look at just because they're so big. Next is more of a dolphin. It should have been in the dolphin category, but they're my favorite. Killer whales. I have yet to see them in person. Me and one of my good friends, Sydney, that I went to camp with last summer, we're supposed to go up to Monterey in May to go see them, but Miss Corona ruined that. Killer whales are very, very rarely seen in Southern California. I know up in Monterey, Santa Barbara area, they are a lot more common, and they are very common up in Washington, Puget Sound, Seattle area, San Juan Islands. very common up there. You have the northern and the southern residents, and down here I think we get transients, I believe. Transients are very, very entertaining to watch. They are the mammal eaters, while northern and southern residents are fish eaters, so salmon eaters. And transients in general are just very, very boat curious. They will come up to your boat, they'll interact with your boat, they'll boat ride on your boat. I just really want to see killer whales out in the wild. Next is sei whales. Sei whales are very, very rare in the West Coast area. It is predicted that a total of 4 to 10 sei whales live in the entire West Coast region. They do prefer tropical waters, so I don't know what brings them here, but they are just very, very rare. Not much is known about them here since we don't see them that often. I'm not 100% sure if my whale watching company has ever seen them, but if you want, you can look it up, newportcoastaladventures.com. They have a trip log, and you can see all of the whales and all of the species we see on every trip we go out on. And the last whale is sperm whales. So I have an amazing story about sperm whales. If you guys don't know about sperm whales are very much an offshore species. They love diving super, super deep, and they love diving for super long. Back in February, for around 5 or 6 days, they were seen off the coast of California, which is extremely rare. Something was happening with our food source down here that was drawing them so close to shore. I saw them at my census. So incredibly awesome. Basically a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get on a boat any of those days because I was in school, but I did see them off of the Point Vicente cliff, and I saw them fluke, and I might have almost cried. Any whale lovers will understand. The last category is pinnipeds. If you guys don't know what pinnipeds are, they're basically like seals, sea lions, and walruses. First one is extremely common, and it is California sea lions. Those are the guys you see hanging out on the buoy or the jetty, or sometimes on the beach. They like to beach themselves and relax, especially in La Jolla. I think it's called Children's Beach. These guys are thriving here in Southern California. They are just super abundant. You can't go on a whale watching tour without seeing California sea lions. That's how common they are. Next are harbor seals. I have actually never seen a harbor seal in person, which is crazy because they are pretty common. I've seen them up in Oregon in person, but not in California. When I was younger, we would walk the pier in Oregon, and the fishermen would give us scraps to feed the harbor seals, which I know now is illegal and we shouldn't do it, but little 10-year-old me did not know at the time. The next pinniped is elephant seals. These guys are huge. You can go up to San Simeon Island or San Simeon Beach up in central/northern California and see them, but sometimes they do make their way down to Southern California, and they're so cute. I love elephant seals. A lot of people think they're ugly. I think they're just the most adorable things. The next pinniped is stellar sea lions. If you guys saw the video on Twitter of a sea lion riding a boat and basically sinking it, that was a stellar sea lion. That was not a California sea lion on steroids. As much as I saw a lot of tweets saying that, that's not true. Stellar sea lions are ginormous, very beautiful animals, and they are seen more up on the northern coast of the West Coast. Next is northern fur seals. We get them occasionally down here in Southern California, but they are more, like I said, for a lot of these, a northern West Coast species. The last pinniped is a Guadalupe Fur Seal. The cutest pinnipeds I have ever seen. They are so fluffy. Those are all the animals you can commonly see on the west coast of Washington, Oregon, and California. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any video ideas you would like to see from me, make sure you comment them down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!